Hello, everyone, and welcome to this very, very first episode of Joining the Crew, a One Piece podcast. So in this journey, the reason it's called Joining the Crew is because I have my lovely, beautiful, talented girlfriend, Megan, who has never seen any One Piece at all. And this is our journey to... She's been so nice to say, yeah, I'll watch this 100-hour-long show with you, and we'll going to talk about it. I think every 2 weeks. So if you guys really like this podcast and you enjoy this episode and you enjoy the other episodes that you hear, whenever you hear this, leave a like, subscribe, and if this podcast does well enough, maybe we'll move it to once a week instead of every 2 weeks. But I just feel like right now it's too much to ask for us to do one every week whenever we might not watch a ton of episodes. But if you really do enjoy it, subscribe, leave a like, comment down below and say, hey, do more episodes, you hack. And I'll be like, okay, we'll do some more episodes. You hack.
Okay.
But and as you'll see in this first episode, we went through a lot of episodes.
A lot.
But first, let's kind of introduce ourselves. Megan is here, obviously.
Hi, I'm Megan.
I'm Jamin. I'm your host with the most.
Ew.
Yeah, that was bad. Shouldn't have said that.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Cut it out.
Anyways, so for background, I'm going to say, like, I've seen all of One Piece up to... I'm shy of the newest episodes that's came out. Like maybe 20 episodes or so, but I could get caught up with that. But I just say that I've seen all of One Piece. I've been invested in One Piece for a long time. I have a freaking tattoo on my arm of the Straw Hat Jolly Roger, so I mean I'm pretty into this kind of stuff. I have not read the manga, but I do plan, if we keep doing this, I may try to actually read it as we go along, because why not? I'm rewatching the show, so I might as well, like, as we're going along, try to read the manga as well, so I can get the feel of that, and then I can also talk about that. Well, so I got a lot of catching up to do, because we all got all the way up to episode 45. Yeah. And so I have an anime background. I really do love anime. I've seen lots of shows. Not as many as probably a lot of people that will see this have seen, but I've seen enough, and I watched the sub and all that kind of stuff. So this is why it's so crazy and awesome to have Megan here, who is not really an anime fan. She's seen... which one did you watch? We've seen My Hero Academia, and we've seen Death Note.
Does Pokemon count?
And Pokemon does count.
Does Digimon count?
Yes, Digimon counts.
Okay. I've seen those as children.
Yeah. So, and she is totally against the sub. Yeah. Talk about the sub.
Okay, well, I'm not totally against the sub. Like, you can watch it. I don't give a shit. But I don't like to try and read and watch at the same time because I'm not a super fast reader. So sometimes I miss part of a sentence if I'm looking too hard at the pictures, or sometimes if I'm trying to read it, then I don't see any of the pictures because I'm focusing too hard on the words. People are going to think I'm a moron. Why are you having me tell people this?
I'm not having you tell them.
You said tell them why you don't like the sub.
Well, is that why?
Yes, that's why.
Okay, and that's a fair reason. That's your valid reason.
I'm too stupid for it. So I just think that I shouldn't have to read to enjoy something. So I am just listening and watching. It's just a lot easier. Oh, excuse me. Oh, so sleepy all the time.
Sleepy girl.
I've really... I don't know. I'm not an anime person really, but I have enjoyed the Death Note. I enjoyed My Hero Academia. We stopped when when we ran out of dubbed episodes because I didn't want to read.
Yeah. And that may be very sacrilegious to a lot of people, but that's fair. She's not that... Like, I'm just so happy that she's going to watch this with me. And there's so many episodes of One Piece that are dubbed, so we'll be able to go really far into this. And maybe when we get there, and if we're in the super invested part, maybe she'll make the switch to subbed, and we'll see if she can watch it or not. but that's a far distant future kind of thing. Because I was watching the dub too until I got to where there was no more dubbed episodes, and then it's like, okay, well, I'll just switch to the subbed episodes because there's so many more, and I love it, and I wish that I would have just watched the sub from the start. I just think there's something in the translations and the way they say things in Japanese, because it's made in Japan, that it just translates a little bit cooler. It makes it more funny sometimes. But that's a different discussion. But that's our background.
My sister says that too, but I'm just like, is it worth it? No.
Yeah, you get used to it. But that's where we're coming from as far as anime people. So that's why I'm so happy that I have Megan to talk about this with, so that we can really talk about just, I come from one aspect of it and she comes from another aspect of it. So I guess we'll just jump into it. We have watched episode 1 through 45 on Netflix.
In like
dubbed
a week?
version.
It's been a week.
2 weeks or so. Very short amount of time. I didn't think it would go so fast.
Yeah, well, they're only like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
22 minutes, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So they go pretty fast, and I 100%, like 110% thought that I was going to hate it. And I agreed to watch one episode, is that right? Or
This is what happened. I came home and I wanted to watch. I've been wanting to watch some of the One Piece movies, and I was wanting to watch some of the old ones, but they're hard to find on anywhere to like even purchase or anything. It's all just the new ones. You have to like download them, or you have to stream them on like anime websites that stream, for free or whatever. Your Kiss Animes, your stuff like that. And so instead of trying to rig that all up, I was like, Megan, how about I just watch a couple of the episodes of the show, because it's on Netflix. And she was like, okay, instead of watching one of the movies. And then it just kind of kept going from there.
Oh, you were wanting me to watch a movie with you. That's what it was.
And then,
okay. So you were wanting me to watch a movie with you, and then we couldn't figure it out. It wasn't easy or whatever, so we said we'd watch 3 episodes.
Yeah, because it's about
equal an hour.
Yeah, because it's about the movie time. And then, I don't know, it just makes me feel so good and comfortable to watch One Piece, and it's so fun. So I was just like, it makes me happy. And then we just kind of kept going, because I was like, I come home from work and I'm like, we'll watch some of one show, and then before we go to bed, we'll watch some One Piece episodes.
I really thought that I was going to freaking hate it. I really did. I was not excited. I was really sad. Did not want to do it. But after watching the first 3 episodes or so, I was like, yeah, I could watch a little bit more. But now I'm really invested into it. Now I really like it.
Let's talk about
it's made me cry.
Yeah, let's talk about just general thoughts, like for the whole show so far that we've watched. We don't have to go into specifics, because we'll talk about some of the characters and stuff in a minute. But
okay,
overall thoughts.
Overall thoughts. Well, like I said, I came in thinking that I was gonna freaking hate it, and I was not excited. But I don't even remember what happened in the first few episodes, because I've got bad memory. I remember the new stuff. I don't remember the old stuff.
Yeah.
I just remember that we watched 3 episodes in one day, and then we stopped, I think. And then the next day, I think you asked if I wanted to watch a little bit more.
Mm-hmm. Sounds right.
I was like, yeah, we could watch a little bit more. And then after that little bit more, I was like, okay, we'll watch it. And now we're 45 episodes in, and I really like it. So I guess we're just going to watch it now. This is going to be something we do.
Yay, I'm so happy. What do you like about it?
Well, I think that I like Luffy because he's just a big idiot.
Mm-hmm.
He's so dumb, but he justifies being dumb because he can fight everybody that gets in their way.
Yeah.
And then I like that. Well, right now it seems like the plot's kind of the same. There's a new big, huge villain that nobody can beat. First, there's this one villain. I don't remember. They're in a town or something and somebody needs to be defeated or something.
Yeah.
And then each time it's like the villain gets bigger and then nobody can defeat them and they're like, oh, Luffy, you can't do it. And then you think Luffy's gonna fucking die. And then somehow he just magically is like, oh, I was only giving you 10%. Now I'm gonna beat your ass real quick. And then they just go to a new villain and then he does the same thing.
Well, and what's so great to me about this rewatching is that Luffy's catchphrase for like the first 45 episodes is, I'm gonna kick your ass.
Yeah.
Like Naruto's is, believe it. And then Luffy's is just, I'm gonna kick your ass.
Yeah.
And guess what, everybody? Get used to Megan has already picked up on the formula. Get used to that.
Oh, does it stay the same?
No. It does change some, but like there's different things happen. But
I feel like that happens a lot because like in Pokemon and in Dragon Ball Z, you always think, oh, they're going to finally lose. And then somehow they bring it around and they win.
Yeah.
That's just how it is. But
Yep. You get stronger. The villain's got to get stronger.
I know.
It's the power struggle.
I know. But it's funny to be like, nobody's ever defeated them before. How many people can nobody ever defeat before? Have these big villains never defeated these other villains before? Like, what the hell? But it's fine. It's been a lot of fun. I love the way he's gotten, like, all of his crew members, like, he got Zoro real fast and Nami real fast. Mm-hmm. And, like, Zoro hated pirates. Mm-hmm. But somehow he's with Luffy. I guess it's because I wouldn't really count Luffy as a pirate that much. I mean, I know that he is. I know that he is. He's just not the typical pirate.
Right. Like, he just wants to explore.
Yeah.
Have fun, adventure, fight people.
Yeah. He's goofy. He's funny. He likes good food. Meat. Yep.
He is definitely... so in the world of One Piece, a pirate is technically like defined as someone who just goes against the world government. So if you defy the world government, then you're technically a pirate. So if you... I mean, it's just like being a thief or a bad guy. Like if you... In our society, like, oh, you're a criminal if you steal something. So like if you...
So the pirates are the criminals?
Well, it's always different, right? You've seen some Marines in some episodes that aren't criminals. That are criminals. They aren't good Marines.
That rat-faced guy, I hate him.
Yeah.
I do not like him.
So Marines can be corrupt, just like police officers, everybody.
Way to get political.
Yeah, sorry, I brought it in. Anyways, so that's some good general thoughts.
How I feel about the characters, you want to know that?
Well, let's go by.
Well, fuck me.
Baby, I'm gonna get there. Like, we'll introduce. So the first person we see is Luffy, and we've already talked about Luffy. You remember Colby?
Nope.
The pink-haired Marine who, with Zoro, with the glasses?
Nope.
You don't remember Colby?
Not at all.
All right, just like thousands of One Piece fans. Moving on from Colby. Oh, not even Colby, it's Kobe. He's the one that was with... remember when Zoro's all tied up?
Nope.
Out there on that, and he wouldn't eat any food. He made that deal with that guy.
I remember that.
And then he ate that food that little girl made, even though it was all stomped in the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Kobe was there with him, and that's where he meets Zoro, hung up on the whatever that was, out there in that yard. So, what do you think about Zoro?
I love Zoro. I think it's so weird that he ended up being with Luffy, but I respect him a lot. I think he's great. I'm sad that he didn't get to beat Hawkeye because that's his dream, but I think that, I don't know this, but I think later in the show he'll end up beating Hawkeye. I think that they'll meet again and he'll finally kick his ass, like Luffy would say. Mm-hmm. And I'm excited for that. I'm ready to see that because I feel like Zoro lost so much pride when he didn't beat Hawkeye. Yep. And I'm ready for him to get to beat him. I'm sure it's going to be way later, but I'm excited for it. Have you seen him beat Hawkeye yet?
No spoilers. I won't tell you anything that you ask me about the future. That way we can have it organically as it comes up. We can really talk about it on here. So we'll try to limit our. I mean, it's not very difficult to not talk about this stuff with Megan because we just kind of watch shows, and I will definitely be the one to pry to want to talk about it with her. I think she may have some questions or maybe like want to talk about some small things, but for the most part, we'll keep most of our talk on the show. I want to try to, anyways. And
well, if I get questions, I'm not gonna remember it.
Well, if you ask them to me, and I'll try to remember them because I'm pretty invested in having this, so I'll try to remember them, and I'm pretty good at remembering things for the show. What was I gonna say about Zoro and Mihawk? I forgot now. Dang, I forgot the character. That had something to say. Okay. Anyways, we'll kind of move on. So Zoro is our swordsman, introduced in like the first or the second episode, I think. We had Elvida that was introduced in the first episode, which was the big fat lady with the club that Luffy called like a troll or something.
Oh yeah.
And she was so upset because she thinks she's the most beautiful pirate on the sea. Yeah. And so then we go to Morgan, who was Helmeppo's dad, Captain Morgan. And Megan make the joke about, where's his rum?
I'm so funny.
And I was like, what are you talking about? And then she said, Captain Morgan. I was like, oh, you're dumb.
No, I'm funny. If y'all would have heard that joke, you would have thought it was so funny. Because it was. I don't remember it, but it was funny. I remember thinking I was funny.
Yeah. And so then Luffy beats him, of course, blah, blah, blah. So we go to red-haired Shanks.
Oh, yeah. That's the guy that gives him the straw hat.
Yeah. What do you think about Shanks? Is he a cool guy?
Probably. I mean, I don't remember much about him, but I remember that he gave Luffy the hat, and I remember that Zoro knows him somehow, too, but I don't remember how. Right?
You're thinking of Buggy. We'll talk about that in a minute. All right, because Zoro doesn't know. Well, he may. Did he mention Shanks? Maybe he's heard of Shanks because Shanks is kind of a famous pirate.
That's the one that gave the hat, right?
To Luffy, yeah.
Yeah.
What did Zoro say?
I don't remember, but I know that I'm almost positive that Zoro knew him too.
Huh. Maybe so, because Shanks is a pretty famous pirate, so. And he's from the East Blue as well as Luffy, so. And Zoro's from the East Blue. And I remember what I was going to say about the... So, guys, any spoilers that you leave in the comments, like, to try to get at Megan, she does not read any of the comments. So, I read all the comments, because it's our channel, but basically I do all the YouTube stuff. So, I'll see all the comments. Don't even try to be slick to think you're, I'm going to tell her all that's going to happen so that I ruin it or something. Don't even bother. Don't even waste your time, guys. Just throwing that out there. You can type all you want in the comments, but she's not going to see it. Shanks. So then we go to, oh yeah, I want to talk about how Luffy and Shanks have that bond, right? He gives him the hat, and that hat is Luffy's only treasure.
Yeah.
He loves the hat because he respects Shanks so much. He says, Shanks, you're like my dad. I love you. And I'm going to protect this hat with my life.
That's sweet.
It is sweet. And he loses his arm. Remember, Shanks gets his arm bit off.
Oh, yeah.
To save Luffy.
That poor baby.
How sweet. Because he can't swim because he ate the devil fruit.
Yep.
What devil fruit did he eat, Megan?
Gum.
Gum, no! That's the, I always have to say it in Japanese.
Yeah.
Gum, no! Jet pistol. Okay. So then we meet Captain Buggy. Do you remember Buggy?
Nope.
The clown pirate.
Yes.
With the big nose.
Yes, I remember.
So what do you think about Buggy?
Thought it was weird that he was a clown.
Yeah. And he's just like that. I don't think his nose, I think, is just like that.
Yeah.
So he's not wearing I think he does do his makeup or whatever to look like a clown, but I think that's just because he has that weird nose.
Yeah.
It's not a fake nose, I don't think. It is
Yeah.
funny that he's just the clown pirates, but I like his design.
Yeah. I mean, I don't really remember much about, like, the fight or anything. I remember thinking, wow, they're never going to beat this guy. And then it's, like, the first, like, big villain, really.
Yeah.
And then you're like, they just get worse and worse each time.
Yep. Buggy is the real first villain, because he actually has, like, a crew.
Yeah.
He has, like, that was the whole arc with the town, where everyone had left the town and the mayor was there. And we had the little doggy, Shoo Shoo.
Yeah.
That was so cute. Little Shoo Shoo. I forgot about Shoo Shoo, but he's one of the top 10 anime, or top 10 One Piece characters. Shoo Shoo the dog.
Yeah.
And that's when we get revealed to more devil fruit users. You remember what a devil fruit is?
Yeah, it's that fruit that you eat that gives you special powers, but you can't swim, so if you fall in the water, you die. Unless somebody saves you, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't remember. I know that the clown had eaten a devil fruit, but I can't remember what his did.
Yeah. He had ate the chop fruit.
Oh, yeah, so his body could be chopped up,
and
he was fine.
Yep. So Luffy
ate the gum. So
he's immune to bullets.
Stretchy and...
He is immune to bullets, so bullets will bounce off of him. And Buggy is very strong in the fact that he can't be sliced.
So Zoro did nothing to him.
Zoro did slice him in half. Zoro cut him in half, and then he thought, not very strong. But Buggy just, when he gets sliced, he just separates because he has a chop fruit. And he can float his body parts for some reason.
So can you eat more than one devil fruit?
You're not supposed to.
So what happens if you do?
We don't know.
We don't know? Nobody's ever done it?
Well, we think that some people have done it, but we're not sure. And we think they just died.
Where you're at?
Yeah. So that doesn't matter that much. There's a small thing, about like that. What are devil fruits? What do they actually do? Can you do this? Can you do that? Very mysterious.
Do you, like, when you go to eat a devil fruit, do you know it's a devil fruit, or do you just eat it on accident, or could it be both?
You can. I don't know. That's a good question. You can kind of tell because of the way they look.
Well, I haven't. Did I see the one that Luffy ate? I don't remember it. Maybe I was watching my phone or something.
How dare you?
Baby, I wasn't invested yet. Was it in the first episode? No,
it was like episode 4.
Well, wasn't invested yet.
You see it. You see the gum fruit. I think that's the only one we've saw so far. No, you see the chop fruit.
I missed that too.
Because remember how how Buggy eats the chop fruit? He's stealing it. He made a joke that he ate the chop fruit.
Oh yeah, but
he didn't. He was gonna sell it, and then Shanks snuck up on him, and he put it in his mouth, and then he's like, "Stupid Shanks coming around scaring me." And then he came back again and said, "Hey, Buggy," and then Buggy still had it in his mouth, and he swallowed it the second time. So he actually ate the devil fruit.
I do remember that. Actually.
And that's why Buggy hates Shanks so much, and they were on the same crew for a little bit.
Yeah,
they were crewmates, and that's why Luffy had all that bad stuff happen with him, because he ripped his hat, and he was so upset that hat got destroyed a little bit. And
didn't Nami fix it for him or something?
Yes, Nami fixed it for him because she's apparently a good hat weaver. Okay, next up, let's see. Moving a little faster. Let's go back. I'm looking at the good old One Piece wiki so I can keep my story straight. So we got to Usopp.
What about Nami? We haven't even talked about Nami.
Okay, yeah, you're right. Nami appears. Well, we were gonna talk more about her because her more important stuff is with the Arlong stuff. But
okay, well, we can wait.
But Nami does show up in these first episodes as more of just a cat burglar Nami, the thief.
Yeah.
But she does show up, and Luffy meets her, and is just like, "Hey," and then he keeps running into.
Determined that she's gonna be his navigator.
Yeah.
Determined.
Yeah, and she shows up, and they kind of they just keep running into each other. She thinks he dies. and then he doesn't, and it's a whole big thing. So then they go together to Serp Village, where Captain Usopp is. What do you think about Captain Usopp?
I'm not sure how much I like Captain Usopp, to be honest. I know you really like him.
Everyone loves Captain Usopp.
I don't know. To me, he just doesn't seem like that much of an asset. Like,
how dare you?
Maybe, I don't know. Maybe he'll get better, but right now, mainly what he does is just run away.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And, like, he's known for being a liar and the runner. Mm-hmm. And I don't know that those are two really big assets.
Right.
And then, like, when we were doing the Arlong stuff, he did take that one guy down, I guess.
In the best, funniest way ever.
But,
one of my favorite One Piece moments.
Really? I don't know. I think he's very funny. But to me, like, he's not as fun as Luffy, and he's not as useful as Nami or Zoro or whatever the hell the cook's name is. Shawshank Redemption or whatever.
Come on, don't disrespect Sanji like that.
I don't know. But I like how he would tell the stories to the dying, well, I thought she was dying little girl.
Right. She was dying of depression.
Same.
She had severe depression.
Same.
Because of her parents.
Yeah.
And the good old guy, Clawhador, was taking care of her, and I thought that he was poisoning her to keep her sick. But I guess that wasn't happening. Because it didn't come up. But I thought that I remembered that. But no, she was just super depressed.
Yeah, I mean, I would be
Usopp
too,
was the good guy.
He is a good guy.
To come and tell her fake stories.
Yes, he was the best guy for that.
They kind of sucked.
I don't really know what kind of greatness he does for the ship.
Right. Well, maybe.
Maybe he'll grow.
I'm
just saying right now I don't see, like, a huge, yay, it's Usopp.
Yeah, Usopp is so funny. He's so, like, sometimes he can be cowardly, and sometimes it's a little slightly annoying, but most of the time it's super endearing.
He is very, very funny.
And he's just fun, and he is a good entry point for us, I think. Like, imagine that you are just a random guy, and you join a pirate ship with Zoro, who's amazing, Luffy, who's, like, gonna be king of the pirates, and you're just... So now you're Usopp in this situation. You're fighting a fish man, and you're like, what can I do? I gotta run away.
Yeah.
That's what I love about Usopp, is that I feel like, well, in this world I would be super strong because I'd train hard and yada yada, but I'd probably be Usopp, let's be honest.
Same. But, I don't know. Right now it's just like I've got these amazing characters, and then I've got Usopp, who's just doing his best.
He does his best.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying that I don't like him. I do like him. I just like Zoro, and I like Luffy, and I like Nami more.
Right.
And Shawshank Redemption guy. I cannot remember his name for some reason.
Okay. So let's see where we're at. Oh, we got... All right. So we'll talk about the Serp Village Ark. So Usopp does come... we come to Usopp, and he wants to be a brave warrior of the sea. He thinks that he is already a captain with 1 million pirates at his back, and he has 3 little kids that run around with him. He is taking care, or he comes to Kaya, and he tells her stories, and he gives her these big lies so that she laughs and is happy. The butler Clawhador, her caretaker, is actually the evil Captain Koru of the cat pirates. And he is this long con plot to take over the village and take her inheritance.
Steal all her money.
Yep, and have her die in an accident. But because he doesn't want to, and this is really cool, he doesn't want to continue as a famous pirate because of all the people coming after him. Yeah. So he wants to ditch the name Koru, and he just wants to be a rich guy and live at this thing, which is pretty cool, I forgot that was a part of it, and that's really awesome. Seeing the flashbacks of him on the ship, and he has this guy killed that looks like him, and he says, "Congratulations, you just killed the famous Captain Koru. And then he has his hypnotist, Django, hypnotize him and make him think he was Koru. And then he hypnotizes the Marine and says, you killed Koru. So Captain Koru is actually really dead. And I just thought, wow, that's a crazy long con plan that this dude had. Mm-hmm. And I forgot about that. I just remember that Luffy beat him up, and he had the weird claws. So Koru, more interesting than I remember.
Yeah. I mean, it was interesting. I hate him.
Yeah, he was very not
evil.
Good. Evil. Yeah, evil guy.
Straight up evil. This little girl, she's got the worst life, and he's just taking advantage of her, trying to kill her. Mm-hmm. Just an awful.
He's probably the worst. Person. He's probably the worst villain so far. Like as far as like atrocities.
Yeah.
Like Arlong is bad, but he, I guess he did actually kill lots of people. Koru didn't really kill. I mean, he did kill a lot of people before he came to the Serp Village, but like just his plan was so devious. Arlong did plan to, at least give the village back to Nami at first. He said because he had that moment when he was on his throne, quotation marks, where he was like, I promised her, I'm a man, fish man of my word. I can't go back on that. And then he was like, but wait a minute. Like they kind of talked to his other henchmen and figured out the plot or the, what do they call that? The loophole to where he could still get that money and then not have to give up the village. He just went through a Marine, so he was pretty bad, pretty evil, but at least he had a conscience at first that he couldn't go back on his word, but he found a loophole in that.
Yeah.
Do you think Koru or Arlong is worse?
Well, I think they are both very awful.
You think the same? 51-49%?
Yeah.
One way or the other?
Right now I'm more upset at Arlong.
Yeah.
But I think it's because, like, I'm so invested in, like, Nami.
Right.
Because
she had the great backstory.
She did. I cried so much during her backstory. Oh my god, that was awful.
Very sad.
So, for me, I think Arlong is a little worse.
Mm-hmm.
Because he, like, full-blown ruined her life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sorry for jumping all around, guys, but we'll try to keep this we'll try to keep it as straight line as possible, but we obviously will jump around a little bit. So Koru, let's see. Do we have anything else to say about Captain Koru? We kind of talked about his fight. We talked about him. Usopp does come to the battlefield, and he tries to protect the whole village without telling them. Because remember, they wouldn't believe him.
Yeah. That
he was telling the truth about the pirates because he always was causing havoc. It's the good old story of the boy who cried wolf, right? So, very, very cool. I always liked that. I always dug that, now he's gonna, very simple story, but effectively told.
Yeah.
And I didn't even mention anything about the artwork for One Piece, but I forgot how low budget this show was at the start of it. Like, there's scenes with just the background is basically, I don't even know what you would call it, but it's just like almost a still image of just the background. And then there's just one character in there that kind of moves or talks. Mm-hmm. And the background is kind of just faded. And you don't really see a lot of it back there. Just to save money as far as like not animating everything in the background. And having just like kind of people, like I remember one of the first episodes when people were walking through the village, like people were just kind of stopped.
Yeah. And
they were just kind of not really moving along with everyone else. They were just kind of back there.
Oh yeah, I do remember that. I remember you pointing it out.
Yeah. So I forgot about how low budget this show started out initially. The animation gets so much better. And even we're already seeing it with like Arlong and all that stuff was very well done. Like all the blood and all the shots they do. Luffy with the big old kick breaking through the ceiling and all the way down. Lots of cool stuff there. Anyway, so Usopp is the liar. He goes to the village and says, hey, there's a people coming. Pirates are here for real. And they don't believe him. So he has to stand alone. He thinks he's gonna have to stand alone against the entire pirates. But Luffy is his friend, because Luffy's everyone's friend. As long as he likes you, he's gonna protect you.
Yep.
And he fights with them, and Zoro's like, of course, I'm gonna fight with you. And Nami's like, you guys are crazy. But she wants to keep the treasure safe, so she's gonna fight too to keep the 60 million berries or whatever safe. And then Usopp says, just take all the treasure. Nami's like, hits him, like, what are you trying to give my treasure away? Yeah, good stuff. So Usopp does get beat up. He gets the shit kicked out of him. Look out for that to happen more and more. And then, so he doesn't give up, though. He grabs Kuro's leg and is like, you're not going anywhere, Buster. The Usopp pirates will defeat you. Blah, blah. And then Luffy has to finally take on Kuro, and he, in one of the other fun moments of this, gets hypnotized and breaks off the fucking bow of the ship.
Oh, yeah.
And is like, "Arr!" And all the angry guys are like, because he hypnotizes all of his men to be ruthless, and they have no pupils, and they're gonna fight. And Luffy has no pupils as well, because he gets hypnotized like a dummy. But in this case, it works out, and he gets more vicious, and all the vicious guys start to cry because Luffy's just like an animal. He's carrying this thing like he's gonna hit all of them with it, and then he falls asleep and it just lands on him, and he's just kind of stuck underneath this thing sleeping.
He's an idiot.
Oh, Luffy, lovable. Oh, you, silliest character, silliest boy in all of anime, but the best guy ever.
Sure.
So we beat Koro, yada yada yada, and we move on to, let's see, Usopp is now
the ship next.
Yeah, I think it should be the Baratier. So Usopp joins the crew because Luffy likes him a lot, and he doesn't believe that he's gonna go with them. He says, now it's finally time for me to set out on my own. And then Luffy and Zoro are like, what are you talking about?
Come with us.
Come with us. And then Zoro's like, get in. And Usopp starts crying like, oh, guys, can I really come with you? And they're like, yeah, we're friends. And he gets in, and now Usopp is part of the crew.
Yay, Usopp.
And then we go to the Baratier with the famous cook, Sanji. I don't know why Sanji's so hard for you to remember.
I don't know.
Did you not like his arc as much?
No, I did. I thought it was fantastic.
Oh, okay.
Like, this is how my tier list goes, probably.
All right, everybody, here we go.
I like Luffy, then Zoro, then Nami, then Sanji, then Usopp so far.
All right.
Because, like, Sanji and his captain's backstory is so sweet. Like, I mean, it sucks, but it's sweet that he gave him all the food and he's just sitting there starving to death.
Yep.
That's sad.
He had all the treasure.
Yeah.
That's what's echoes so good to me, or it hits so much. Why can't I talk? It hits home for me. Is like when you're out at sea, you know, you have all this treasure, but it can't buy you anything because you don't have. There's nowhere to get food. So it's like you can have all the money in the world, but what you really need, you can't buy with money. So that's kind of the theme, or that's what it comes to me as. It's what it echoes to me. Like, have all the money, but you can't get what you really need, food and water.
Yeah.
And then from that day on, they agree to, we're going to feed anyone that's hungry, because they almost starved to death.
Yeah.
So that's great for Sanji, too. You really understand. Like, when you first meet Sanji, he's just a cook, and he
seems like an asshole.
Yeah, he's the coolest guy ever. He acts like the coolest guy ever.
Yeah.
And I forgot how cool Sanji really was, because he's super serious in this. I mean, as One Piece goes along, literally everyone and everything gets sillier.
Really?
So we can just say, I'll just say that. So I forgot how cool and serious Sanji was as a character. And now, you know, later, he's just all, like, he's a very silly boy. but he's so cool and serious in these episodes, and it's good. It's awesome. So when you don't know why he's feeding these pirates at first, you feel like, well, okay, he's just a nice guy. There's Geen of the what are the pirates? Don Krieg of the Krieg Pirates comes there, and he's so starving, and Sanji feeds him anyways.
Yeah, that's the whole reason I like him. I really do believe you feed anybody who's hungry.
Yeah. Me too. No matter what they do. Even if they come back with their freaking powerful captain who's going to kill you all and make you his slave workers.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. You take care of people, because as you figure out, Geen was probably a very bad guy. And because Sanji showed him so much kindness, and he was about to die, he had a change of heart. And when he had the chance to kill Sanji, he chose not to. He defied Don Krieg's order for the first time ever in his life, because he was so touched that he could not kill the man who saved his life.
Yep.
Which is great. Very good. And you get so much music in this. Like, you get the sad songs really hit in this one.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? You hear that sad music?
Yeah.
I don't want to try to replicate it with my mouth, but...
Please don't.
It's the... Dun, dun,
I just asked you not to. Why are you doing it? I just said don't.
I know, for laughs, though. I did it for laughs.
Well, it didn't work.
It's all about the goofs around here, you guys. Not necessarily. But yes, it is. You can't have a One Piece podcast and not have some goofs and silliness. Because it's basically what One Piece is. So we're kind of all over the place on what happens at the Baratier. But then we do have Don Krieg, who shows up, almost dead, and all of his ships, his fleet, he's a commodore, he has many ships, are all destroyed and sliced in half. And who was responsible for that?
Grand Line.
The Grand Line. Yes, Hawkeye.
At the Grand Line.
At the Grand Line.
Do not come for me. I was right.
Yeah, you were right. I was asking more about who did it. But you're right. There was the Grand Line. And we have Mihawk coming in on his tiny little ship that's like a cross. And he's just by himself with candles, and he just has his arms crossed. It's so baller. That's like the coolest thing you could do. I'm just one guy on this tiny little ship. No one can fuck with me because I'm just that strong and powerful. I don't need a big ship. Come near me and you're getting sliced. And he defeated all of Don Krieg's ships and everything like nothing. And then Zoro sees him and he's like, man, I can't.
I gotta do it.
I didn't think I'd find him this fast, but I gotta fight him. So they have their fight, and he just basically mops the floor with Zoro. He uses a tiny little cross knife that he has on his neck and stops all of his blades with one little tink. And he's just like, Zoro's flying with all three of his swords, and he's just like with a tiny one blocking all of it. It's so crazy. It's like, wow, this is insane.
Because, like, the best you've ever seen swords-wise is Zoro. And then you're like, oh my god.
Yeah. And that's why One Piece is so cool. Because you get this, out of nowhere, you get the greatest, like, what they call the greatest swordsman. And how big is the ocean? It's so big. Mm-hmm. So it's like, because this is an ocean planet. Like, there's basically a lot of islands. There's not a whole lot of continents in this world.
Yeah,
it's a water-based world with islands. So it's crazy to see Zoro fight the world's strongest swordsman at like episode 30 or something. And you know how long One Piece is, the show.
Yeah. And
it's like he fought the strongest swordsman at episode 30. So that's why I went into this, knowing back then there wasn't that many episodes when I first started, but there was still like 700 episodes or 600, something like that when I started watching. So to see this that early, pretty dope.
Yeah.
And for Zoro to survive that slash, he was taking it easy on him.
Yeah.
But he earned the respect of Mihawk. Mihawk let him live and said, "Come find me, Zoro. Roanoa Zoro. Find me." And there's some other great stuff we'll learn about Mihawk later on, and I'll try to remember to come back and talk with you about things that Mihawk knows about when he meets them, that you don't know that he knows this stuff. If that makes sense. But yeah, we'll talk about that long time from now in the future. So then that happens. Zoro loses. He says, "I will never lose again. Is that okay, King of the Pirates?" And he holds his sword up, and he reavows himself to Luffy as like, "I will be the strongest swordsman. We will do this together, King of the Pirates." Their bromance is so strong in this moment.
Yes. I love that they love each other.
They are the best of friends. They respect each other so much, and they're both just so chill, so cool. And, you know, Luffy does what he does, and Zoro's just like, yeah, I know it. He's my captain. So
Captain,
good.
oh, Captain.
Captain, my captain. But this is still Sanji's arc. So he has, we have his whole backstory where he is going to drown, and his ship is attacked by Redfoot Zeph, and Zeph saves him because he sees a little spark in him. Like, he talks about the all blue. He says, "I'm going to survive. I'm going to beat you guys because I have to find the all blue." And Zeph is like, "The all blue? What an idiot." Mm-hmm. But he admires the dream, and he gets knocked off the ship. Zeph saves him, but in the process has to lose his leg, which he would have lost anyways. Well, he wouldn't have lost it if he didn't jump in after him. But when he jumped in, just by happenstance, he got trapped in some debris. So he had to chop his leg off for himself to survive, but also to survive or to save Sanji.
Yeah.
So he lost his leg, and he was all about the kicks. He was the Redfoot Zeph. You remember why they called him Redfoot Zeph?
Mm-mm.
Because his foot was soaked in the blood of his enemies, and it was red.
Ew.
Pretty intense, right?
Yeah.
So he was kicking people so hard that he had blood all over his foot.
And then Sanji became a kicker.
Why?
Because he admired Zeph.
Yeah, but why does he only use kicks? It's an important part of, not important, but it's a cool reason why. Because what is he?
He's a cook.
He's a cook.
So he can't mess up his hands.
Yeah, I can't fight with my hands, otherwise I can't cook. So he only uses kicks. Pretty awesome. I always love that. I mean, is it as cool as I'm trying to make it out to be?
No.
No, but I always do love that. It's cool to me, damn it. And this is how I know that they hyped up Geen so much, because his literal name is the Cold-Hearted Demon. Geen, the first commander of the Dawn Creek Pirates. That's his name, the Cold-Hearted Demon. And so, for him to have that kind of name, and then he's completely has a change of heart, and doesn't kill Sanji, you know he was a bad guy before this happened. Like, he was a bad pirate, like, really hurting people, killing people. And this whole life changed because of Sanji. And he's gonna die. Like, at the end of it, remember, he's carrying Dawn Krieg, and he says, even if I only live the next few hours, I'll live them as free as I've ever lived, or whatever. And it's like, oh my god, you're gonna die. If you die in 3 hours, he said, I may only have hours to live, but I'm gonna live them the best, and I'm gonna live them free. Because Dawn Krieg was defeated, even though he still loves Dawn Krieg, because he basically gave him a reason to live, whatever. But he feels free because he defied him, he didn't die, and he was actually beaten. So he feels, I don't know, he just feels free.
Yeah.
So great stuff. Really like that. So Luffy beats Dawn Krieg with like just straight up aggression, I guess. Like, he just doesn't back down. Like, Dawn Krieg has that armor, he has that spear, he has that shield of spikes that he puts up, and Luffy just punches the shield of spikes and goes right through it and hits Dawn Krieg.
Luffy gives me so much anxiety. Like, he stresses me out because the fact that he can't swim, like physically cannot, but always like is fighting over water, stresses me out.
Yeah.
He makes me mad.
Yeah, and I mean, and that's why it's so crazy to have devil fruits, because to eat one, because in a seafaring world,
Yeah.
to have the ability not to swim is very, very detrimental
Yeah.
to you and everything else. So it's good that we have Zoro and Sanji, who are both not devil fruit eaters.
Yes.
They can both swim. And Sanji's a very good swimmer because he kicks so fast. So that's good. What do you think about the this arc with, like, all that we've talked about? What do you think about Don Krieg and Luffy's fight, and just your thoughts about this kind of arc? Was it?
I mean, I thought it was really good. I cried a lot with. I'm a crier.
Yeah.
I cried a lot with like the hunger thing.
Yeah. And okay, I'm sorry to interrupt because I just gave you the thing, but this is the arc. This is the part where I knew that I was really hooked on One Piece. From the first 30 episodes, I was just like, okay, this is what, rewatching it, I love it so much, everything about it. But as your first watch through, if you don't know really what One Piece is, it can be slower, or it can be like not as interesting. The fights aren't what you expect from like a battle shown in anime. But after watching Sanji almost starve, and that whole story of how he, overcomes that, and he's feeding people, and that's his life, his purpose now. That's really hooked me. And of course Mihawk and Zoro fight, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so into this, and I'm definitely gonna keep watching.
Yeah.
That's where it really hooked me.
Yeah. I think that's probably about where it got me too. Like, I did like it. I liked the first episodes. I really, really did like the Usopp thing, and like the, what's her name, Kaya.
Yeah.
I really did like that, but the Sanji thing, I really, really started to like it there, but probably this Arlong thing has really got me.
Really sealed it for you.
Because, like, we've had Nami since, like, the first episode, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe second, but I think the first. And she's always, I don't know, I was always kind of like, why do you trust this lady? Why do you want her to be your navigator? God, she ditches you every time she can.
Yeah, did you think that Nami was going to be bad? Like, when she just runs off and you find out she left. Nami took the ship and left.
Yeah, I did. But I felt like she would turn around somehow, and she has now. But like, I knew that you wouldn't have her pop figure if she didn't turn around. Like, if she was just some evil bitch, I wouldn't think that you would have her pop figure.
Yeah, I forgot. I have Luffy, Zoro, and Nami pop figures. I want to get all of the One Piece ones, but those are the ones I have right now.
So I figured that she would come around.
Yeah. Yeah, and we saw it. So let's go there then. Let's talk about Arlong now. So we'll move past Sanji and all that. He's a part of the crew. And that's a very sad moment when they leave. Mm-hmm. And Zeph is like his father, and they always have this back and forth where you old geezer, you old man, and you young brat, and they just never acknowledge each other as like they really like each other. They're always fighting, even though they deep down they do really love and respect each other. Yeah. And then at the very end, Sanji says, "Thank you, old man," or "Thank you, Zeph, for saving my life." And then Zeph says, I don't remember what he says exactly, but like, "Get out of here, Sanji," or something like, Yeah. You can make your dreams come true on the Grand Line. That whole thing. Mm-hmm. And then he's crying and everyone's crying. That was one of the times that really, really hit me hard in the feels. I was like, oh man, because it's more of a father-son dynamic. And it's real good. So then Sanji's part of the crew.
And then, like, the Nami thing. When we watched Bellamere die, I thought I was going to just die. I was like, this is it. This is how it ends. That was so sad.
Yeah, some of the saddest stuff in One Piece. It always makes me tear up a little bit.
And when she finally asks Luffy for help, that hurt.
Yeah.
I was like, she's not a ask for help type person.
Yeah, as you can tell.
She was going to try and save her whole village by herself when she was, like, 6.
Mm-hmm. Nami does have one of the most tragic backstories of the characters, and I always well, I won't say that. I was gonna say something, but I'm not gonna try to. I'm really trying not to say anything that will lead Megan to wonder about things. So I'll just stick to this. So yeah, Nami, we find out. We'll set the stage a little bit for it. She is saved by Bellamere, who is from the village that she's from, Kokoyashi Village. Bellamere saves her and Nachiko from this random village somewhere whenever she's a Marine, and she brings them back to Kokoyashi Village. And Nami's a tiny little baby, and Nachiko is like probably 2 or something. Mm-hmm. And so they become a family, and they grow up in this town that Bellamere was from. And they're very poor because she can't work that much. She only has her tangerine orchard. Mm-hmm. And everyone sells fruit in this village. Tangerines are very popular, so they can only sell what they can sell. So they're poor. And then we have the Arlong pirates that come and attack the village, like pirates do, and they're fishmen.
And they can't pay their bond.
And they can't pay their bond.
They don't have any money.
And then Bellamere knew, though, which is cool, because this is the first time rewatching this in a long time. She knew about pirates, so she gave up she only had 100,000 berries. It was 50 for each kid, 50,000 for each kid, and 100 for an adult. So she knew that they were going to find out about the kids. The villagers' plan was to have Nami and Ochiko leave and survive and stay safe, and Bellamere would stay because she could afford to pay up 100 for herself. Mm-hmm. But she knew they wouldn't be able to leave because the pirates would destroy all the ships, which they did. And so she told them about her daughters so that they could survive, and then she would die because she knew they couldn't escape. Yeah. So instead of them dying, she
killed herself, basically.
Bit the bullet.
And the last thing she told them was that she loved them.
Love you.
Okay, we didn't need that.
And you jumped when I did that. Yeah, but that's what happened, and it's so sad, and it's so violent.
Yeah.
So brutal.
Pirates.
So brutal. But Nami does have the saddest, and they play the sad music, mm-hmm. and it just gets you with that sad music. And you know it, when you hear it, oh, this is about to be sad as fuck. Mm-hmm. When you start to hear those little ding, ding, ding. And that gives you all Nami's backstory, and then she becomes an Arlong pirate. She tattoos it on her, or they tattoo it on her, and she's running around stealing money, and
trying to free her island
for 100 million berries, which I thought it was more than that, but no, because she had 60 million with them on the boat.
Yeah,
that they got from Buggy. I think they stole from the Buggy pirates. So she brought that, and that got her real close, I guess, to get in. She was
7 million berries left.
7 million berries. Very close. She
said that she could get that in
one more trip, yeah. And then Arlong betrays her.
And is an asshole, and he tries to say, ha 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 ha, you're going to be mine forever.
Yeah, and Arlong laughs. Like, half of his dialogue in this show is laughing.
Yeah, I hate him.
He literally laughs after everything he says, don't you think?
Yeah.
Ha ha ha. And okay.
Same, though.
You just did it. So after, this is funny, Arlong's dialogue, it's 30% laughs, 30% that's why fishmen are better, and then how many percent left? 40% just whatever else he says, dialogue wise. So I didn't remember how much he talks about how superior fishmen are.
Yeah.
But kudos, my goodness. Idiro Ocha. Idiro, gosh dang it, why can't I say his name? Usually I can always say it. Ichiro Oda, that's his name. Ichiro Oda, the guy who writes One Piece. Kudos to him for. Now, I haven't actually read the manga for that arc. I do need to read it, because as much stuff as they talk about Fishman being superior and everything, it's great. Great stuff. And we'll all know why later. But right now I know why. So awesome. Megan's looking at me like, what are you talking about? But you guys out there that watch One Piece all the way, you know what I'm talking about. Didn't realize how much of that there was in here. How much that Arlong just talks about that all day. So that's for things to come. So Arlong is a bad, bad boy. He has 3 henchmen. I don't know their names. Hachi is one. I love Hachi.
Octopus guy.
Octopus Hachi. He's the best. He's like, oh, Zoro, you tricked me. Mm-hmm. You killed my brothers. He has a weird, funny voice. Mm-hmm. He has, how many octopus legs they have? 4?
8.
8.
They have
4 on each side.
Yeah.
Oh, because octo, duh. I'm smart, guys. I promise. I'm not.
Yeesh.
Okay,
My
Miss
kindergartners know that.
Okay, Miss. I'm too slow at reading to watch sub.
Shut up. That's rude.
Well, I don't know math, and you don't know reading. There we go. We got it settled.
Actually, I know reading. I'm really good at it.
I'm just joking.
I just can't look at both at the same time.
I'm just joking. So we have the other 2 guys, and they're the henchmen, the strong henchmen that Sanji, Zoro, and Usopp will fight when Luffy fights. Yeah. But we'll talk about this. One of the great moments of One Piece. You see all the struggle that Nami's going through. Luffy doesn't give a shit about her past. Nochigo's gonna tell them the story, and he says, "No, don't care." Yeah. And he just walks away because he doesn't care about Nami's past. He just likes who she is right now. He thinks she's great. He thinks she's a great navigator, and he just wants her on his crew. And he knows she's good. Doesn't care about her past and why they're there at that village. So he just wanders a while. He walks through town, and Zoro, Sanji, and Usopp hear the story about her backstory. That's where we get all the sad stuff. And then Luffy just happens to be walking by, and Nami is like, Luffy's like, Nami, you need any help? And she's like, no, leave, you bitch. Like, she just goes off on him, and Nami, and we know what's happening. And Nami's so mad, and she runs away, and Luffy goes back and sits underneath a tree with his arms crossed, and he's like, what's her problem? Yeah, and we just saw all this shit happen to her. Like, her mom was shot, and all this stuff, and Luffy just that little bit of comedy. So then we come back and we figure out that her money's going to be stolen by the rat face guy. And she can't really stop it. And then she just gets so mad that she has an Arlong tattoo. And she just starts like stabbing it with the knife. Yeah. Which is really super graphic, huh? Yeah. It's so weird how One Piece tone can switch so fast. The tone of the show is like lighthearted, funny, goofy. Super sad and depressing. Super violent. And all this stuff like mixed together. So she's stabbing her arm, and in the greatest like thing ever, Luffy just stops her, and then she's like, drops the knife, and she looks at him with the cry face. Luffy, help me. And then he's like, it goes dum dum dum. Dum 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 dum. We get the music cue, and then he like takes his hat off and puts it on her, and then we get that shot, like it goes past him, and we just see all our boys posing, like Luffy and Sanji's smoking, and Zoro's just sitting there with the sword, and Usopp's like standing all funky, and we get that music, and then Luffy's like, we's gonna pay, and then we're like, yeah, everyone's cheering, like if you're watching it, you're cheering. Yeah. In my head, I was going crazy. I'm like, that's one of the hypest moments, and then they start their walk. Side by side, they're marching to Arlong Park. Everyone in One Piece loves this shit. This is like one of the moments that you're like, this is great.
Yeah, it was great.
So good. Nice. So good. We could just end it there. I mean, that's it. Game over. Wipe your hands. Best thing we've seen so far. In my opinion, most hype moment.
Yeah, it was good. I liked it.
And then we have the actual fight, which is... It's a good fight, but it has funny stuff with Luffy putting on Arlong's chompers, like, I got teeth. He's like, big bro, Luffy? I don't know if that's very sanitary. Johnny or
Yeah, those guys get on my last nerve. I don't like them.
They are gone now. They're good. They're okay guys.
I just hate how they call everybody big bro and big sis. It gets on my nerves.
Yeah, that's more of definitely a Japanese thing.
Yeah.
But it doesn't happen much. There's other times later that people will call people big bro or whatever, but it's kind of like a respect thing. Like if they're a little bit older and you see them as a good friend or like more of a brotherly figure, like.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. So they really respect them to call them big bro Luffy. I think. If I'm wrong, tell me, but I think that's kind of what it is. So that we have Arlong getting defeated, and I mean that's kind of where we are.
Yep.
Let me see what time we are. Oh, we are at an hour 5 minutes. So we've caught up with where we are in the show. Final thoughts, Megan, about where we are.
I don't know. I just thought
look towards the future. What do you expect?
I mean, I'm sure that it'll get better. I don't know if we can get better than Nami's backstory. That was really good for me.
Because it's drama.
Thanks.
Well, I mean, it's very good. Like as far as like storytelling, your characters being introduced and having a good backstory where you care about them. And she gets her tangerine and pinwheel tattoo.
Yeah, I'm excited for her.
Super sweet. Now she's on adventure with her friends. And she says one of the saddest things. She's like, I thought I could be happy with them. Because they made her smile and laugh.
Yeah.
And we see some cool shots of them on the boat that we didn't see, when they're playing cards and Luffy has all the cards. Nami's like, I win. And then Usopp's like, why do you have so many cards, Luffy?
Yeah.
He's like, I don't know. I thought the more you have, the better. He's like, that's not how the game works. It's just so much fun. Fun, small moments that you get to see of the crew having fun.
It's a lot of fun. I like the show.
Yay.
We'll see for how long.
Yay. Megan's joining the crew, everybody. Oh.
We'll see.
Tied into the name of the podcast. That's how good of a host I am. Remember the host with the most?
Beginning. Yeah, I got it at the beginning. You didn't have to bring it in.
Oh, okay. Well, whatever. So that's it, guys. I think we've really talked about it as much as we can. I mean, I could talk literally. We got all day. I can literally talk all day and just keep talking about stuff. But I feel like we have other stuff to do.
We do.
We do. So thanks for watching. Subscribe, like. This is taking the place of another podcast for this week. And I'll probably put that in the description. Because we do another podcast, the Kinda Cool podcast. If you like me and Megan talking about One Piece in our regular podcast, I do interviews with other small creators. If you're a small creator out there that loves One Piece and you see this, hit me up. We'll talk about it. We'll do it on the Kinda Cool podcast. Or you could come on this one even. If you just want to talk about One Piece. But if you want to talk about being a small creator, doing other things on YouTube or social media, and whatever, life in general, we can be on the Kinda Cool podcast. But other than that, if you want to see more episodes of this, do comment, do subscribe, like this video. Let us know that you want more of these episodes, and we'll do it. As long as we have enough support. When we get enough support, we will do it. Because I want to, and I think Megan would be cool with it. But right now, it's going to be every 2 weeks so that I have more time to do the other stuff on the channel. Because that stuff is a little bit... that's my normal stuff. This is more of a fun type thing, but I do enjoy it. And if we have the support, we'll do it more. So thanks for watching. That's it for this episode, the very first one of Joining the Crew, a One Piece podcast, and we'll see you next time.
Goodbye.